Let's get some more on this story by speaking to Sara Webb. She's an astrophysicist at Swinburne University, and she's joining us now live from Melbourne in Australia. Sara Webb, always good to speak with you. Now, of course, these flights are going to be very good for the bank balances of these two men and their egos, of course. But I wonder if the rest of humanity are going to benefit in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think what a bragging right, not only to own your own rocket company, but to be able to send yourself up to space. So I think it's fairly incredible. And I think us mere mortal humans that don't have our own rocket companies, can't send ourselves to space right now, will benefit eventually. So in the next coming decades, it's not insane to think that going to space and being able to actually afford a ticket on a space tourism type of flight would be in the realms of possibility for everyday humans, which I think is very, very exciting. The fact that maybe, in a few decades, a holiday of mine could be to space. So it's definitely the step in the right direction of getting us there.
Absolutely, I entirely agree with that. And what about the science of getting up and getting down? Now, as Mr. Branson proved in 2014, it's not easy, and there was a bad crash which resulted in the death of one of his pilots. So just talk us through the science of them getting up into the edge of space and then getting back to Earth safely.
That's right. So both of these companies have been around for many, many years. So Virgin Galactic first started in 2008, and it was when they first started their test flights. Richard Branson quoted himself as saying that, 13 months and he would be up in there. And obviously it is not 2008 anymore. It's taken many, many years. And that is because of the challenge of trying to get a vehicle to go to the edge of space without all of the equipment that we typically see in some of the vehicles, such as the Russian Soyuz, or now we see SpaceX. So it is really challenging, but what is really unique about these two programs in particular is that because they are designed for space tourism, they really do take that idea of comfort and luxury, if we can say, into account. So what it means is that you are not in a full spacesuit. You do not need to be individually pressurized and oxygenized. You are in a pressure-controlled cabin. You're somewhere where it's very much like a plane. And so I think being able to nail that design as well as being able to actually get to the edge of space with the two different approaches that they are both taking is very difficult.
And you said that you would have a go if you could afford a ticket on one of these planes. But do you think more widely people will want to spend time on the edge of space? I think you can only be up there for about 4 minutes. Isn't that right?
That's right. So for both of these, you get about 4 to 6 minutes of that weightlessness. But for both of the programs, from what I've been reading, at least for Blue Origin, if you sign up and you buy a ticket, you commit yourself to several weeks worth of training, because it is very much more like an astronaut experience with the Blue Origin rocket. So you are taking off on a rocket, you're taking off vertically, you are on a payload at the top of the rocket, and you are landing via parachute. So very, very similar to what we've seen with space missions from NASA and from other space companies. Whereas with Virgin Galactic, it's more like a plane. You board, you take off more familiar to what we're used to with spaceflight, and then you land back down on the ground via like a shuttlecock type landing. So the way that a badminton shuttlecock might fly through the air, that is how that aircraft actually lands down into the ground. So very controlled and very smooth. So yeah, very, very different. And if I got offered a chance to go, I would 1000% say yes.
Excellent. Well, let's see if we can make that happen for you. I wonder, keep saving those pennies though. You never know when you might be able to afford a seat. Sara Webb, thank you so much.